Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. Basic human rights meaning that which allows your dream to come true. As I mentioned to you when I explained very clearly about the beautifulness of heaven, the beautifulness of paradise, the beautifulness of the life that has been prepared for you here on this earth whenever you are ready to receive it. Tonight I want to speak to you about what has happened since that. The reason that you are not experiencing that is because the people have been deceived. The people, even in the beginning, were told that they were better than the conditions that they were experiencing. And they were experiencing heaven at that time. They didn't know anything but heaven. They didn't know anything but heaven. But somebody said they could be better. You deserve better. You are special. In fact, you are God's. Try this, try that, and you will see. And so, out of that temptation came division. A division which created a separation between mankind and God. Created a separation between man and man. Because now the lie didn't just stop there. It needed to create itself as God. So because you had one time known that you could have everything, this God, this deceiver wants to make you feel that you can still own everything with using a bait. And what was that bait? That bait is money. With money, they've decided that everything has a price tag. You can have anything and everything if you got the money. You heard one man say, I think it had to do some guy named Rothschild. You can look it up if you desire. Says, I don't care who makes the rules, as long as I got the money. And what he's basically saying is that everything is for sale. You buy your politicians, you buy your prime ministers, you buy your lawyers, you buy your judges, you buy your presidents, you buy your kings and queens and popes. All of these things honor the money. Money. And you have schemes set up to support you in your efforts. You have your secret societies set up. You have your trilateral commissions. You have your Council on Foreign Relations, you got your Bilderbergs, you got all of these secret societies, Skull and Bones, all Masonics and all, they under the table, got a little scheme tied in, and then you got your puppet government sitting up there pretending like they serve you, and you are going along with it because you don't know any better. And right now you have been looking for a way out, right? If you go on the internet, you'll find people crying, screaming out for a way out of this. They're coming up with some little suggestions, but those suggestions won't take you any place, and they know it. But they are trying, they're calling for someone with vision, someone to aid, someone to deliver them from what has been put before them. In this political season here in the United States of America, we have two individuals, one Republican and one Democrat, and each want to be President of the United States. And the people are not satisfied with them, but they're there because that party behind the curtain, the one who's using that money out there, manipulating the economy, manipulating the currency. You don't know who they are. A lot of people do, but they are back there. They're the ones who want to be God. And all you want is the money. Because you've been tricked to think about another God, someplace else. And you'll think that that God is going to come to deliver you, and it keeps you docile. It keeps you in line. And who benefits? That deceiver benefits. There has been said that someone came, and I'm sure there have been many who have, who defied that approach, who stood up, and they were killed. Yes, they were killed, but they rather to die than to live in hell. And they lifted it up as saying they had a spirit that was guiding them, something that could reach to us and perhaps motivate us to want to be born again, to change our mind. And we have whistleblowers. We have people who are just coming out telling us how evil the nations of the world are, tell us how evil the people of the world are, and how vulnerable individual citizens are when they're in ignorance. And you have no one to turn to. The church basically runs on philosophical approach, should I say, by going to seminaries and stuff like this, they become biblical scholars, and what they tell you doesn't really relate to anything that you can interpret. You just going to church because you were told that you go to church and is a sign that you're a Christian, and when you die, you might go to heaven. That's okay. I'm not going to knock that. But I just want to tell you that there's something else too. Do you know no man can serve two masters? You've heard that story before. You know, especially if they're different. So you got to choose one, and these are different. One represents life, paradise, and heavenliness. The other represents the same thing for some, and purely hell for others. These people who run the world today have planned, and I know most Christian people and folks who are working hard trying to pay their bills from week to week don't get a chance to do a lot of research. And if they're watching that tube, they don't get any true information. But the people behind the curtains call themselves the New World Order. You've heard presidents talk about it. You heard President Barack Obama. You heard President Bill Clinton. You heard President George W. Bush. You heard the other president. And they're all talking about a New World Order. And that New World Order, my friends, is real. These people are not just talking. You think that it's okay, those of you who don't know any better, that these people have always cared about you, and they will continue to care about you, that you're protected. That's, for some of you, true. Because even then, they will need some flunkies to serve them. And so a small measure of you will be protected. And I know, you know, that the way they get you is putting money in your pocket. Like they put money in basketball players' pockets. Entertainers, they just throw money at them. They don't do anything. You teach school, you build buildings, you do all kinds of community type, development type things that make a nation, a city, a town what it is. And these guys just go running, playing ball, playing an instrument or singing a song, and they put gewgaws of money behind them. See, these are bought individuals. They have a purpose to keep you entertained, while you, rather than wonder what's going on and do something about it, just sit down and be entertained. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. In heaven, they got entertainers. In paradise, they got entertainers. But the thing of it is, they are not trying to deceive you and manipulate and use and abuse you in those places. In those other places, it's just pure entertainment that everybody can enjoy. Nobody's out trying to scheme and scam on anyone. But in this world, this is the world that we live in today, and this is not God's world. And when I say not God's world, I'm not talking about the physical thing. I'm talking about what we as a people interject out of our living, out of our spirits, outwardly in this plane to one another. That is not of God. This is of the devil. It is of Satan. It is of Lucifer. It is of we the people. Yes, exactly what it is of. And it's going to stay that way until we change, until we recognize. And you know how we're going to recognize? For most of you, you don't know God. You believe in God, but your belief can change in any day and have you going any kind of way. But those of you who know God, find yourselves in situations where your life was supposed to have been gone. Boop! But something happened. And it happened in such a way that you knew, no doubt, you knew it was a blessing, that it was a miracle, that it was God that did it. And it is, and it was. But because of that, your life now, my friends, should belong to God, because you know that God exists. You know. Other people believe in, but you know. And since you know, those people who are believing are looking for someone to guide them, to be a bright light, to suck them into a deeper understanding. That means you. And how do you do that? By protecting them, by loving them. Anything that you see that's abusing them, it is your responsibility to shine the light of truth and understanding, so that even they, but not only they, the one who's causing the abuse, can see it as well and refrain from it. Because you're not going to have it any other way. Why? Because you are the salt of the earth. You are the love letter to the world. Why? Because you know God. So, I've told you about how God is prepared for you to live. I've shared with you about what we're really living in and who's running. The next episode will be about what is required to change it back, to go all the way as a prodigal son back home. And I'm not talking about leaving here. I'm talking about going back to the dream that's real in your life. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this, your time. 2 in a row. And it's all about defeating Armageddon so that you may live. And you know what? The most wonderful thing about all of this is that it is in your hands. And you will be able to do it because the spirit of love, the spirit of the almighty love that comes from God rests in you. And your actions is the evidence. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say, bye-bye.